When I get asked, Paul, what do you do? My answer is very simple. I solve sales problems, period.
90% of the sales either happen or fail, and it could go either way. Either you lose it or you gain it, right? So why is the body the most valuable, and how do people lose sales when 90% of sales are done in the body?
Because if you got them to stay on the phone or to stay with you, like if you've gotten them engaged in the beginning, then they're basically giving you the opportunity to show them, so they're giving you the opportunity to sell them at that point.
Okay.
And it's kind of up to you whether you hit or miss.
Okay.
That's just the meat of the interaction, I guess. That's like the climax of it.
Okay. That's good. So now, remember, the opening is the perceived value. You got to show some perceived value, right? So like the trailer of a movie, right? They hook you to go watch the movie. You spend 2 hours, then you're disappointed, right? So now the body is, there's a stock terminology. It's like when you meet somebody, right? Let's say we're gonna use your boyfriend as an example because you went through a process before you started dating him, right? Same thing with anything. So what happens is there was an initial perceived value, there was an initial attraction, a little, whatever it may be, right? Then as you got to peel the onion, right? You gave him a shot, you guys started talking more, you started peeling each other's onion, and you start, man, I really like this onion, right? So the perceived now increase is called intrinsic value, right? Then you guys decide, you know what? We like each other's value. Let's at least start something with that, right? So intrinsic value is a stock terminology where the stock is trading low, but it's really high, it's worth more than what the stock says because of the company's financials, right? So now, when you overcome the initial stages and you set the tone, now they're giving you the stage. Okay, you got me. Now you better sell me. But people don't want to be sold, but they're telling you to sell them, right? How are you going to sell them? With value. So 4 things happen in the storytelling. Number 1 is the body. The body is the storytelling. Storytelling is just taking words, facts, figures, and statements, and making them sound like a song, like a music. That's all that is. Well, I need time to think about it. No, you don't. You already thought about it. You already made the decision to sell your house. What you're looking for, Denise, is X, Y, Z. That's why I emphasize those words. Commodity. We both have what we both have in common is the value is time, right? Commodity, right? So now, when you go from the opening, the second thing, as you're storytelling through the rebuttals, you're now increasing your value. And you don't have to talk about commission. You don't have to talk about all the bells and whistles. Right? How does a car salesman work? A good one. They build a bond with you. You know what they're going to do, but you can't stop a good car salesperson. A good one, you know what they're going to do, but you can't stop what they're going to do. Why? Because they're really good at it. Nothing wrong with it, right? So that's what they're going. So now number 2 is you're going to increase your value. Hopefully you're increasing your value. Now, number 3 is if you're telling a powerful story, meaning people are engaged. People are not going to give you their emotions or their time unless they're feeling it. And it's all feelings. Right? That's why 90% of the deals usually close within the body. You could also flip it. You could lose 90% of the deals too if you don't increase your value and you don't tell good stories, right? So if you're telling good stories and you're increasing your value, now you know you have a higher percent of converting that, right? From a prospect to a client. or to a customer. A client is a relationship, a customer is one time, right? So number 4 is you get the prospect. Because remember, Denise is a prospect. You was once a prospect for me. Now we have a relationship, right? Even though I messed up, got your name on 5 different times, but I was good enough in my skills to overcome that, right? Because I took responsibility. Hey, I'm not kidding, man. I'm bad with names. And when you saw me do it, when I cold called somebody, a guy named Carlos, and I forgot his name, he hung up on me the next day I called him. Remember that? Right? Because it's true. So now number 4 is you get the prospect to do what? After you tell a good story, you increase your value, you know 90% is going to close, but there's one chance that you may not close it. What are you getting the prospect to do at that point in doing the story, doing the body?
Say, what's the question one more time?
What are you getting the prospect to do doing the storytelling and the body of the selling process?
I'm getting them to envision themselves as the main character in the story.
Okay, that's good. What else? Dig deeper.
I'm getting them to envision their problem being solved.
Okay. Okay.
I'm getting them to buy into me.
That's it right there. That is it. They buy into the relationship. Because let me tell you something. If you didn't trust me or believe in me, but you knew I had this skill and what I could do, it don't mean jack shit to you. Right? You went a time where we didn't talk that much and we didn't do things. I kept talking to you, calling you, right? I kept working the relationship. I said, you know what? I want us to have a real chance to work together. Let's see what we could do, right? And I just respectfully, we went up and I kept playing a guilt check. Hey man, you just using me like you don't want, right? But I was building, increasing my value, but building the relationship. So you get the prospect because if they don't buy into Denise and they may even believe that you have a solution to sell their house, they're not gonna sign with you. And the example could be with Joe, right? He had to see some value because he was resisting any showing or